Greetings to all my friends, family, and loved ones. I'd like to say, first and foremost, I do apologize for how long the other post was with the internet schedule. Very quickly, the internet schedule or things that I want to get done and accomplished or prioritize. Those are things online that I really want to get done because it, I guess, kind of fits with the overall what I'm working on right now, and it's kind of also a just in case in my own view. So that's the whole point of the documentaries and all that stuff, and doing the videos and all that stuff. Like I said, to pass it to the next generations. Now that's stuff that I want to do within an overall time frame. The reason why that is not a specific time schedule is because it has to work with my living time schedule or my physical list. And there's five very quick things on that list. One, manage my time with family, loved ones, and friends better. Now, that means the people who live here in my home with me, as well as all of my children, all of my grandchildren, everybody that I talk to online or offline that I consider to be family, loved ones, or friends. Now, the thing is, I have a lot of those. So I do have to start figuring out better time schedules on an individual basis where we can talk throughout the days, the weeks, the months, the years, so forth and so on. Because honestly, unless you're here physically with me, most of the time that I'm out of my chair here, I'm trying to spend improving the house and stuff like that, which is also on this list here. Um, that also means that I am trying to spend, like it says, the maximum amount of time that I can with my wife Misty, my daughter Freya, and my grandson Jacob on the phone talking to my children and grandchildren and so forth and so on. And they do need to take a bigger priority within my life, which means that the stuff that I'm doing online needs to revolve around that time schedule or those things in specific, those priorities, not time schedule. And basically, I will be building a time schedule that coincides with both of these lists that I'm talking about, the stuff that I want to focus on and do in the physical world as well as on the internet world. That's kind of how I'm looking at it. So, one, manage my time with family, loved ones, and friends better. That's on various levels, so it's kind of a work in progress, but sooner or later it'll all be working together. Two, make sure to keep up with all of Jacob's appointments and reduce the stresses on my wife, Misty. That way, the little guy, my grandson, can continue his life's journey with with maximum opportunities. And I did make some notes. I was gonna do a whole other post and then add it to the internet list, and I realized that there would be so much text that I wouldn't be able to post it. So anyway, that way he can have the maximum opportunities to go as far as he can go in life. Um, Three is to pursue better health care when and where possible for myself. I've been talking a lot about making it to 73 and then 110. And like I keep saying, if I want to make it past 55, I'm going to have to address the health issues that I can, kind of lighten the burden on myself, and get in the best shape possible, which I've been attempting to do. I've been eating more, addressing my dietary needs. I've also been working on quitting smoking to a degree. I no longer smoke inside the house, and I'm smoking a lot less. So that's a good thing, and I look forward to breaking myself of that habit very soon. Um, so I am lessening the overall impact of negative health that I'm currently experiencing in my day-to-day life, but at the same time I can do more. I can make kind of a note here that as of the 3rd of August, I should have the final procedures of getting my health insurance back and covered, taken care of, at which point I will be seeking the best medical care that I can possibly find and figuring out a way to, I guess, reduce the load on my overall body so that I can start doing more on the next things on this list, which are, well, on the things that are already on this list, and the next things, which is four, Figure out how to work on home improvements for the house and yard without hurting myself or overworking myself. I figure if I get a lot of my health issues that I can taken care of, I can be out of this chair a little bit more. Unfortunately, that means a little bit less time will go to the whole internet schedule, which means a little bit less time for interviews, videos, things of that nature. But at this point, I'm pretty sure everybody can use a break. So, yay. Um, 5. Make sure to have end of life legalities in order. What I mean by that is I was thinking over inheritances and things like that because I've just finally got all of my father's stuff that was left to me here in my home from Kentucky after 2 years. My father passed away in 2019. And a lot of times throughout my life, I've noticed that when it comes to end of life legalities and having actual wills set up that are public, and, hey, there's no doubting what this guy wanted. There's no doubting how he wanted, maybe kids to run a family heritage site or take care of a whole bunch of information they may not even be interested in. Well, if you actually have things set up by working with those people, which is why make sure to have end of life legalities in order, then things tend to kind of pass down throughout the generations a little bit easier and they're preserved a little bit better. Well, I'm doing all of this for a documentary, for telling my past and telling my here and now while I'm and then reviewing my past from the here and now and giving, I guess, advice that I would give myself to anybody who wants to hear it, while at the same time keeping in contact with all of my family and everybody online and trying to do all of this stuff offline. So 6th is build an actual area, or at least make a feasible blueprint within my lifetime of a proper heritage ancestry information area or center pertaining to all of the bloodlines that I have researched within my own genetics, so that anybody who ever finds themselves, at 6 years old like I did, at a family or bring your family to school day going, hey, I don't know the difference between a grandma and an aunt. If you ever happen to end up going, yeah, ancestors and all of the people who are out there that might be my relatives, one day I'm going to find you, and at the very least I'm going to remember you. I've recounted that story countless times now. Well, instead of starting out on something like that, I think it would be pretty dang cool that in 50 years to 150 years, or who knows how long, someone might dig up a 2 terabyte mithril external hard drive and go, I wonder what this is all about. And maybe they'll be inspired to research history and their family and other people's families, because, started with 6 names on a family tree, did 2 DNA kits and 25,000 matches through 2 DNA companies. So that's pretty dang stellar. Right on. So that's pretty much what I'm doing on the physical side of things. Trying to spend as much possible time as I can with the family who is physically here. I'm trying to get my own health addressed while taking care of Jacob, while hopefully trying to reduce some of the overall lack of stresses that I was helping my wife Misty reduce over the last few years when I was stuck on stupid and in my own selfish headspace. While at the same time I'm trying to sort out, prioritize, and get in order all of the people that I do need to be contacting a lot more, like my ex-wife and my now friend Stephanie, my daughter Emily on a much more consistent basis. I'd very much like to talk to my son Eli. I told all of my kids at one point, because I only have one biological daughter, but I told all of my kids at one point, the day you call me dad, it's for life. I don't differentiate between the two. And I would very much like to reconnect with all 7 of my kids and all 14 of my grandkids. That's kind of the whole point of why I'm doing all of the physical stuff and all of the internet stuff. So anybody who wants to stick around for a wild ride, thank you. And now I'm completely off script and all that stuff, and not even script, but just notes to myself. You see me post them all over my timeline all the time. So basically, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm doing right now. And so far I've explored a little bit into Facebook, Discord, and YouTube. I've stumbled and bumbled my way through some of them. And, I just keep going forward. I always have, and figuring it out. And I look forward to talking to everybody. I mean, one of my cousins is actually getting ready to get some internet stuff so that he can do, I don't want to call them interviews, but just sit and talk with me and ask me a bunch of questions and see my take on things. So that should be really cool. I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, this is all a documentary. It's past, it's present, it's physical, it's internet, it's hopefully one day history. Something that people can look back on and go, hey, this guy either made sense or didn't. Who knows? History will remember me how it will. And that's kind of what I'm doing with all of this, because that's what it all revolves around, while at the same time trying to encompass everything else that means anything to me into it. So it's quite busy. A lot of moving and working pieces, and I tend to over explain everything because I forget that I don't have to over explain it. Most of my friends and family understand exactly what I'm doing because we talk and we work around each other's schedules, just like the internet and real life. The internet's going to have to work around real life schedules. So this is me just saying, hey, I have organized my priorities. You may not be able to get a hold of me as often, but I will always get back in contact with you. And from there, I'd very much like to set up, a more consistent way of communicating and everything. That is basically what I'm saying. It's kind of my way of saying, hey guys, I'm going to do me, but at the same time, I still want to hang out and talk and, do us. So I hope it's a little bit more understandable. This went over 10 minutes. Sorry about that. Still working on the whole keeping it short. Much love. I hope everybody finds their blessings, finds their smiles. I know that I have. I feel really, really good about coming days. I refuse to live in negativity anymore. So I love y'all. Hope to talk to y'all soon. Be blessed, and until next time.